and welcome to 7-Minute Guitar. Today we're going to talk about the B chord and the F chord. The reason I have left these two chords for last in these first three lessons is because they use a fingering style called bar chording. And by learning bar chording, we can slide up the neck of the guitar and not just make an F chord or a B chord, but another version of a C or a G or an A or a D. So let's start with the F chord. Now the picture I used on the tablature shows the index finger holding down these first two strings, string number 1 and 2 on the first fret. The middle finger holding down string number 3 on the second fret, and the ring finger holding down string number 4 on the third fret. I'm going to have you take one more step. Go ahead and hold down that string number 4 with your pinky finger. Move your ring finger up to string 5 on that third fret. Now take your index finger and really clamp down on the entire first fret. Bass note as well. Bring out the pick. This is a barred F chord. Now, notice the fingering here. It looks really similar to, say, an E chord. So an F chord is really this fingering for an E chord just moved up an entire set of frets. It's called a half step, and when we get into scales we'll learn between half and whole steps. So there's the E, we learned that. Here's the F. Now if you want to just bar these strings, just play those 5 strings, 1 through 5 or 5 through 1, and make sure you don't play the low E string, because you can hear it's a little dissonant. Okay, let's look at the B chord. The B chord, it's a lot like making the A chord. Remember, the A chord was right up here on the second fret. Well, slide it up 2 frets. 1, 2. Here we are at a B chord. Take your index finger and hold down strings 5 through 1. Now, a lot of people do find this a little difficult to hold, so you'll see a lot of people that will bar the strings like this. The index finger will hold down those 5 strings, and the ring finger will only hold down these 3 strings right here. It takes a little bit of practice to be able to bend that finger backwards so that it does not deaden this top string. There is a chord that you can make, but used in certain styles of music. But it's not a B major, because it's got that G sharp in it. So there is our, in relative to the A, here's our B chord. So the reason for showing these chords, the F chord and the B chord, is because, as you saw, the F chord is in the shape of an E. So we have our E, and it slides up to be an F. The B chord is in the shape of an A. So we have our A, and it slides up to be a B. And you'll notice I fingered it a little differently. That's just the only way I've been able to do it. Find a fingering that is comfortable for you and practice. Do the same thing I was talking before. The F is in the key of C. So if you're playing with a C, then switch to an F, and then say go to a G. So in lesson 1 we ended with 1, 4, 5 progression. Here's C, that's the 1, F, that's the 4, 5, that's the G. So practice. So in the B, key of B, the 1, 4, 5 is B, is the 1, the 4 is the E, and 5 is an F sharp. So we have our B, we have our E, and in this same form we slide up 2 frets and we bar with our index finger. The index finger kind of acts like a capo, and we'll talk about capos in a future session. So play around, make music, 1, 4, 5, and when you get an opportunity, throw in one of those minor chords we talked about. You can take these chords, which are called A form and E form. You can take these chords and bar chord them all the way up the neck. So we had these, the E, we introduce the F. If we slide up another half, we have an F sharp. Another half step is a G sharp, is a G. Here we go to a G sharp, and here we go to an A, and that progression continues all the way up. Here we have an A down here, we go to our B, half step up is a C, whole step up is a D, and whole step up is an E. Finger is here at the 7th fret.